Does polyamory prevent pair bonding? Warning, this is going to be one of my nerdiest videos yet. If you're worried about your body count, watch until the end so you can see how the science adds up for your pair bonding potential. I don't know many things sexier than a statistically relevant, science-backed examination of pair bonding with multiple partners. So let's get ready to bumble! Hi, I'm Iseman. I'm an open relationship coach, and this channel shares all the lessons that I've learned the hard way so you don't have to. There are two cultural opinions masquerading as science-backed hypotheses currently floating around the interwebs. I'd like to address both of them. Number one, body count limit. This says that the higher a woman's body count is, the more sexual partners she has in her lifetime, the less likely she'll be able to pair bond, and the more likely she is to divorce. The second idea is that polyamory isn't real love because real love requires pair bonding, and you can only do that with one person at a time. Pair bonding is a term used in the social sciences to describe the ability to form a selective, continuing relationship between two individuals. Most commonly used in reference to romance as a mating strategy, it also technically includes platonic bonds like friendship and the bond between a parent and child. Pair bonding is just one of the selection of options, categorized under long-term mate retention tactics on the menu of human mating strategies created by evolutionary psychologist David Buss. It's important to note that bonding is a verb. Pair bonding is a process, as neuroscientist Andrew Huberman says, not an event. This means it's an activity that we share ongoingly, not a destination at which we arrive. As a mating strategy, pair bonding is not necessarily something we do for a lifetime. In fact, the vast majority of us create what are considered serial pair bonds, otherwise known as serial monogamy, which is more accurately referred to as serial non-monogamy. It simply means having numerous individual pair bonded relationships separately over time rather than simultaneously. It's important to acknowledge that we are social creatures who don't exist in a vacuum, and our ability to bond isn't in isolation. We each have a social matrix that we bond within, and that matrix can make it easier or harder for us to bond. So this begs the question, how giving is your social matrix? A really rigid one can prevent you from bonding at all, while a really flexible one will allow any number of bonds to form at any given time. Your social matrix is made up of a web of relationship structures and the agreements that exist within them. This means that pair bonding with one partner in no way prevents pair bonding with another simultaneously. Whether or not that is accepted within your given relationship agreement is relative. Not required. At least according to behavioral science, pair bonding as a social mating theory is not in conflict with polyamory in any way. But what about the chemistry of human social bonding? Can't talk about chemistry without putting on my smart spectacles, my smectacles. Our brains show a unique chemical signature for all bonds of all kinds. The neural circuits and hormones involved in social bonding are not unique to any particular bond. This means that our brain does not chemically differentiate between the social bond of friendship versus a romantic pair bond versus a parent's bond with their child. In fact, the same circuits shown to bond between parent and child are repurposed in our romantic relationships. Maybe this is where the term daddy issues comes from. This begs the question, if our brain treats all bonds the same chemically and our emotions are just chemical reactions, then why have we given so much more meaning and social importance to romantic bonds over platonic ones, especially in a society that likes to pretend that sex doesn't exist outside of marketing strategies? I digress. Back to our arbitrary relationship hierarchy. Raina Cohen, an award-winning producer, journalist, and author focused on social connection, explores just this very thing in her best-selling book, The Other Significant Others. In it, she challenges societal expectations for what life partnership should look like in favor of what it could look like, and does for many, beyond limiting social beliefs at a time of declining marriage rates and a loneliness epidemic. So what are the chemicals related to bonding? They aren't limited to occurring in human bonding, but let's stick to our own species for relevance. Dopamine is commonly known as the reward chemical, but It's actually a messenger chemical that moves us towards things that feel good and is not the feel-good chemical itself. It's elicited by anything exciting that involves risk. Sex is one of its biggest triggers. When connections with others are explored outside of your relationship agreements, this increases the sense of risk and therefore the dose and bond potential. Every time you do something reinforced by this reward chemical, the effect lessens. So you need to keep increasing the sense of risk in order for the same chemical emotional result to occur. This means drama cycles can be literally addicting and why they're so hard to get out of in our intimate relationships. Oxytocin, known as the love hormone or the cuddle hormone, is actually part hormone, part neurotransmitter. It's released most strongly during sex or giving birth. Oxytocin is the non-stressful, relaxing, safety bonding chemical that keeps us feeling content and satisfied. Fun fact, kissing someone for 6 seconds or hugging them for at least 20 seconds releases enough oxytocin to change both of your brain chemistry. Vasopressin, on the other hand, neurotransmitter, is the stress bonding chemical and is released through solving problems together. It's the bonding chemical that keeps us alive as a social group. Males have way more receptors and so experience far more bonding when figuring something out together than just through physical connection. Want the best of both worlds? Tell him exactly what you want or try something new in bed together. He'll have a puzzle to solve and you'll have your physical connection. Wham, bam, thank you, Pam. The way these chemicals are transported and delivered in the brain is through synapses, which are a part of our neural pathways. And if you don't use them, you lose them. This means that our choices can restructure our brains. Emotions are chemical reactions elicited by the choices that we make and the actions we take. They are temporary and pass without supportive action. This is why more secure, long-lasting relationships, while including emotions, are based on rational decisions, not emotional ones. The rational decisions support neural pathways that create a safe container to experience changing emotions. Now that we have a better understanding of all those sexy and delicious chemicals, what does that mean for the actual practice of connection with others? How much is too much? Pair bonding in the social sciences is like covalent bonding in chemistry. No matter how many times an atom is part of a covalent bond, it can bond with another just as easily as the first time. There is no cost to the atom for any bond. To be clear, this means that the body count debate can be put to rest. Not only are sexual needs and jealousy on a completely separate scale from emotional needs and jealousy, you heard that right, love and sex are not the same thing. Repeat, sex and love, not synonyms. No amount of sexual partners can prevent you from emotionally bonding to any degree. More sexual partners just means more practice having sex. Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours rule infers that more practice of a skill can provide more opportunities for improving it. And with no science to show that this somehow doesn't apply when it comes to intercourse, it would appear that polyamory and pair bonding can exist in harmony and even support each other. Creating a relationship by design using expansive relational dynamics acknowledges that we're way more than just the emotional chemistry inside our minds. Bulletproof relationships are built on something more substantial than chemical reactions with an expiration date. We're talking ingredients with a way longer shelf life: respect, admiration, and commitment to shared agreements. An intentionally built relationship structure provides the framework within which we can experience all the emotions life has to offer, while protecting the relationship and those in it from being buffeted around by the winds of changing chemical triggers. All right, well, I gotta get to work on my 10,000 hours. Now that you know all there is to know, as far as we know, about pair bonding, I wanna know what you think. Do you think you can have too many partners to bond with someone for life, whether monogamously or non-monogamously? How many partners is too many partners, and why? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Keep it civil. This page is built on a foundation of mutual respect and curiosity. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll get a heads up every time I release a new video about inclusive relationship dynamics.